Sacramento Fire responded to a structure fire around 3:45 this morning on the 300 block of Anderson Court. We quickly turned that into a 2-alarm fire. We had about 50 fire personnel on scene responding. When fire crews arrived, they discovered one person had self-evacuated. At that time, that person was quickly evaluated, treated, and transported to a local hospital. At that time, we were told that that person was in critical condition. At this time, the cause of the fire is still under investigation, and the structure suffered severe damage on the second floor.
My sister said, "I smell smoke. Oh my God, I don't think we should be in here. I think there's a fire upstairs." And I just grabbed my purse, grabbed our keys, and ran out the door. My sister behind me grabbed her dog, and we all just made it out. We jumped in our cars, moved the cars out of the way. As we moved the cars out of the way, I looked up, and the flames blew out the windows upstairs. The old man upstairs, somebody told him, "Just jump!" And he jumped out the window, and he was on fire. And your guys' security helped him, They helped put him on a blanket, and they put him across the street. It was crazy. I've never seen nothing like that in my life. It was crazy. The whole upstairs was just one big ball of fire. The whole upstairs, just like that. But if it wasn't for your guys' security officer, I don't think the people downstairs, because I don't know who lives downstairs on the other side, so thank God he showed up. People like that, man, it just, wow, I just couldn't believe it.
It was a normal night, very easygoing, just rolling through my district, hitting our properties that we do every night. I was going down RALEY Boulevard, which is where we have a couple properties. As I was exiting, or actually going down the freeway, I saw a bunch of smoke pouring onto the freeway. I didn't see any lights, and usually the smoke is starting to dissipate when fire's on scene. So I decided to kind of just go check it out and see where it was. Right when I came off the freeway, I could see the flames radiating in the area and a lot of smoke starting to start up again. So I made my way towards the neighborhood. And that's when I saw multiple people in the street screaming for help, crying. It appeared nobody had called 911 yet. So I immediately came to the scene, started securing the scene, helping everybody get away from the fire. Called 911 right away. I started figuring out who was in the house. They said that their father was stuck inside on the second story, which I relayed to fire to tell them, that they need an extraction when they get there. I started kind of making my way around the house to see if there's any way to get to him, and at that point the second story was fully engulfed, and I was trying to get the people away from the house because they were trying to spray it with a garden hose, which wasn't doing a whole lot for them. After that, I noticed, I looked up at the second story where somebody started screaming that he was going to jump, so I turned around. The older male that was inside had actually jumped through the glass pane window, took a head first into the back of the car, and then I saw him on the ground screaming. So I immediately ran to him as the fire was spreading on top of him and all of us in the area, started administering as much aid as I could. And I grabbed 2 other people to help carry him at least away from the fire as it was starting to spread on top of us. We got him away until fire could get there, and that's when I directed the ambulance crew to him, advised him of his injuries, and they ended up picking him up. It happened really fast, and I guess, it was instincts for me to go and help him. I didn't really think twice about it. It was more I saw somebody that was injured and hurt, and I just wanted to go help them as fast as possible.
When he came to the window, you could see his back. You could see his back was on fire. You could see everything was catching on me, and he just went for it. He just flipped himself out the window, and he flipped it onto the top of the awning, and then he rolled off of there. There was a Mercedes there, so he rolled on to the back of the trunk of the car, and from there he rolled head down to the ground there. And a guy that was passing by on the freeway, security guard, saw it, came and helped us, put him in a blanket, rolled him up, and then they picked him up and brought him over here they can get him to the hospital, because he was on fire. His shirt was melted to his skin and everything, and he was cut and gashes in places. So they hurried and took him to the burnt ward, the hospital. So I don't know what he's doing, how he's doing as of right now, but he was very scared. I can only imagine. And then prior to, like I said, he already had been burnt. So I can only imagine it to go back through that again one more time. It was very scary. It was very heartbreaking. Because I asked him, I said, "Where did you come from?" Because he had a uniform on and everything. Because I was on the phone with 911 as soon as I started smelling stuff and I seen the sparks, I said, I was on the phone with 911 saying, get here. This guy was like, just get everybody out. He was very helpful, very, very helpful, making sure both homes were, people were being protected. And I'm like, I asked him later, where did you come from? And he said he said he was passing the freeway and he saw the fire. And he came right away and supported us and make sure everybody was safe and make sure the man, he came out that window so, it looked like dead weight. He just flopped out so fast, You see things on TV, but you cannot imagine until you actually physically going through something with something like that when it really gets down like that. And I'm just thank God he was alive. He's still alive, and I hope he's okay. He had a lot of cuts and bruises, but his clothes were burnt to his skin, so his shirt. I was like, oh my God, don't look back, George. Just come on, get out that window. But he was brave enough to come out, You get common sense to say, come on, let me save my life, And he came out of there. And that was kind of scary, but thank God that car was there. I hate to say it, but if I could only imagine he would have landed without nothing there, But he's like I said, he's hanging in there. He's in a critical ward, but I just pray God he's okay.